All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. My name is Kristen Bands. I am the Marine Program Coordinator for the North Coast Land Conservancy, and we'll begin the very brief webinar here in about a minute or two. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Once again, my name is Kristen Bands. I am the Marine Program Coordinator for the North Coast Land Conservancy. And tonight I'll be talking to you for probably about 20 minutes about the BioBlitz activity that we're going to be running on June 17th through July 17th of this year. And there are a couple of dates in there that we'll be doing special projects with the BioBlitz. So tonight the program will be I'll talk to you a little bit about what a BioBlitz is, how to engage in a BioBlitz, and talk more about the iNaturalist application, which is the application which we use when we're out in the field doing our BioBlitz events. So first off, what's a BioBlitz? So a BioBlitz is an intense period of biological surveying that records all living things within a given area at a given time. And it looks very much like what you see on the screen. There is a person with an iPhone or a personal device that is looking for objects, generally plants or animals, and taking photographs of those and then uploading those photos to an application called iNaturalist. So we BioBlitz for a couple of different reasons, and there are BioBlitzes that these events happen all over the world with various different organizations, generally nonprofits or environmental organizations or museums run these types of events. And the reason why we're running a BioBlitz event for the month between June 17th and July 17th is to catalog all the diversity of species within the marine reserve that we can find. And we do this for a couple of reasons. We want to raise awareness, general awareness about the fact that Oregon has 5 marine reserves and Cape Falcon is the northernmost reserve. We also want to see if there are any shifts that are happening within the reserve itself, with the species that are living within the reserve itself, and versus those species who may be present or absent just outside of the reserve. So the marine reserves do a lot of different data collecting on species, and we have a variety of tools in our toolkit, which we do that with, both researchers and community science-based events. And these BioBlitzes are community science-based events, but they produce data that can be utilized by researchers to forward their projects in the field. So we BioBlitz, as I said, with an application called iNaturalist, and it's a free application that you can get either if you have an Android phone, you can do the Google Play Store, or if you have an Apple phone, you can use the App Store. You just search for iNaturalist, and I've got a couple of screenshots up there. The first one is what it looks like if you're in the Google Play Store and you want to install the iNaturalist application. So you just click the install button, and then you'll get a screen that pops up on your phone after you've installed the application asking you to log in. And so you're going to want to create an account. It's a free account, and you can do that through a variety of social media networks. You can also utilize Google to do that, or another email address in order to do that. And once you've registered, I'm not going to take you through the process of registering, but those are the 2 main steps: is downloading the application from an app store and then registering your email so you can get a basic account. And once you have your account created, you can start making observations. And observations are what we collect in projects that enable us to see those changes over time with the data sets that we're collecting. So I'm going to attempt to play you a very short video. If it doesn't work, it's totally fine. You can give me a thumbs up if you can hear it.
If you're an Oregon homeowner, 2022 is your last chance to go solar. In December.
So apparently we've got to listen to.
For 2020, Congress passed an extension to the solar investment.
All right, here we go. Sorry about that.
Welcome, fellow BioBlitzers. My name is Ian, and I work for the Oregon Coast Aquarium in organizing the BioBlitz efforts during the summer. This video is going to help you understand how to use the iNaturalist app while you're out in nature to make those observations that are critical to this project. With the app open on your device, making an observation is as simple as hitting the Observe button. Doing so activates the camera on your device and allows you to take a picture of the species in question. Before doing so, make sure the species is in the middle of the frame and in focus. The next part is to identify that species. You'll want to hit the What Did You See section to get some potential suggestions if you have cell coverage or a Wi-Fi connection. If you have a good idea of what it is and it doesn't match any suggestions, enter that species name. Your device has already logged the date, time, and location of this observation, and all you need to do is hit the Share button to upload that to the database. You've just made your first observation and join thousands of other citizen scientists engaging in their natural world in new and interesting ways. See you out there.
All right. So that was a very quick video about how to utilize the application, and I'm going to go over the application more in depth with you. Before I move on, I wanted to tell you a little bit more about iNaturalist. I wanted to let you know that it's a social network application that maps biodiversity all around the world through geolocated photos. So what you do is you take photos of flora and fauna, or the plants and animals that are around you, and those photos are tagged by your location and they're uploaded to the cloud. And once they're uploaded to the cloud, they're available to all different kinds of users who are on the application. And the application has over 2 million people who utilize it. And these are both everyday observers all the way to hardcore scientific researchers who are utilizing this application. And all of those folks are able to see the various different photos that have been uploaded, and it's crowdsourced. So at that point, your photo gets looked at by a variety of individuals, and it gets graded by what type of photo it is. So the photo can be anything from a casual observation all the way to a research grade photo that has been confirmed by a variety of sources saying, yes, indeed, it is a gray fox, for instance. And so the application is run by a couple of really well-known organizations, the California Academy of Sciences and National Geographic. And so I just wanted to add that information so you know that we're utilizing a resource that is well thought through and is very robust and is used by people all over the world to do these types of observations. I'm going to stop for a second. I want to make sure that you can actually see my screen. If you can see my screen, can you give me a thumbs up? Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and then I'm going to reshare my screen because I have a feeling that you might not be able to see what I'm trying to show you. Okay, so I'm going to take you through the steps of the application. So once you've downloaded the application, you're going to want to open it up on your phone. So these are just screenshots from my phone. So the first step is to open up the application, and the icon is a little bird. It's a little green bird. Once you open up the application, you'll have your profile already set up because you've already signed in. And in order to create an observation, you're going to want to hit this green plus sign. the next step is to take a photograph. So when you're out in the field, you want to take a photograph, or you can also utilize the application after you've taken photographs. So you don't have to take photographs on the spot, and I'll explain that here in a little bit. So let's just go forward as if we're taking photos on the spot. So you want to hit the photo icon button. And I was taking a photo of some flowers that are in my front yard. And so I zoomed in on the flowers, and then I hit the camera button. So I took a couple of photos. And then once you're done with the photos, it moves you back into the application proper. So you're in your observations area of the application. So you can see at the top of the screen here under the word edit observation, you can see the photos that I took. And the next step for you is to click on this question mark icon that says, what do you see? So once we click on that, it'll bring you to another screen, and you'll see at the top of the screen here, the screenshot, you'll see the picture of flowers that I took, and the application is mining data. It is looking for things that are similar to what the photo that you took looks like. And so it'll come up with different genus and species. And if you you can find something that is very similar to what you took a photograph of, or you can also do a type in search with the little magnifying glass and start to search for things by species as well. So I chose the rock rose as what I thought it looked like in the photograph. So I clicked on the top suggestion, which is rock rose. And I wanted to know more about it. So when I click on it, I can say, you know what, I want to do some more research on that, and it'll bring up a whole bunch of data about what the rock rose actually is. It'll give you a more detailed photograph. It'll tell you where it occurs in the world, if there's any users in your area that have taken photographs of it. And so I just wanted to know a little bit more, so I clicked on the photograph. You can also back out of this, if you've gone into the application and you wanted to find out more, you can also back out by hitting the back arrow. And so we're going to pretend that I hit the back arrow. So I chose the rock rose, and you can see that my choice is right below the photographs under the word edit observation. And then the next few steps will automatically populate. And you'll see that the date is automatically populated, and the time, and then the location. I hid the location here because I don't necessarily want you to know where I live. So I hit the location, but the location will automatically pop up. If it doesn't, then there's an issue with the privacy settings in the application, which you can change from your home screen. And then in order to save your observation, you're going to want to click on the green check mark. Once you save the observation, it starts to go into a different screen, something called My Observations. And you can see at the top here, the rock rose was being uploaded. So you have to wait for a second for it to upload to the cloud. And you can see on this screen that I've made 4 observations. I have 1 species so far. And you can see that the two observations are available on the My Observations setting. So once it's done uploading, so you can see that it's uploading. Once it's done uploading, it becomes part of your observations, and people can comment on it, and you can get more information about your observations if you want to click on these individually. The other thing that's really important for the BioBlitz and for you to participate fully is to be able to not only take an observation, utilize your phone, take a photograph, confirm your observation by finding out what it is and choosing something that looks very similar to that, having that information go up to the cloud, be saved, become part of your observations. But we need you to participate in a project. And so there are 2 ways which you can join a project. The project that we want you to join is the Cape Falcon 2022 BioBlitz project. And you can find that project from one of 2 ways. So this is what your kind of home screen looks like when you're ready to kind of be in the application proper. And you've got a couple of different choices from your home screen, and one of them is projects. So you can select the project tab from your home screen. And then that will open up a search function. So at the top of the screen, you can see I started typing in Cape Falcon. So once you're in the project tab, you can look in the search function by typing in the words Cape Falcon, and it'll bring up a variety of different projects that have the word Cape Falcon in them. you want to choose the very last one, which is BioBlitz 2022, Cape Falcon Marine Reserve. And you just tap on that once you have it on your screen. And it'll bring you to the actual project page. Now, there aren't any observations in the project yet because we haven't actually started the project yet. But you can go ahead and join it anyway. So in order to join the project, you just click on the Join tab. And once you make observations, you'll be able to automatically upload your your photos to our project. And I'll show you what that looks like. So this is the second way in which you can join a project. So this is the edit observation page, which I showed you earlier that you had a photograph and you confirmed what you were seeing with the question mark, and then it auto-populated this other information, such as the date and location and time. If you keep scrolling down the page, you'll see it's a section that says Add to Projects. You can also search for a project here. Now, if you've already joined the project, then you'll see that you have projects which you can already upload images to. So if you've already joined the project, then this will be auto-populated with the project that you've joined. If you haven't already joined a project and you're taking a photo, then you can type it in at this point. And again, you can save by clicking the green check mark. As I mentioned earlier, there are a variety of projects that Cape Falcon has done with BioBlitzes in the iNaturalist application, and this is just one of them, the Cape Falcon BioBlitz from 2021. This is a screenshot from that. So you can see what it looks like when we have people actually working within the project itself. So you see a whole bunch of observations, you can see images, you can see the names of the species that have been identified. You can see there are 617 observations, 197 different species that were found, and 42 different people were participating in this BioBlitz. And if you want to, you can explore further by clicking on the number, the 197 or species tab, and it'll bring up a list of all of the species that were found within the particular BioBlitz. You can also click on the people tab and you can see different profiles of individuals and how many observations they made during that particular time within the BioBlitz event. And you can also click on the individual photos, and those photos will bring up more information about those various different species as well. So where and when are we going to do this? So we're going to be BioBlitzing for the month of June 17th to July 17th. And it's an open thing. So all you have to do is download the application, and we want you to go to one of 3 locations or all 3 locations within the Cape Falcon Marine Reserve. So we're doing the observations on the beach. So Cove Beach, Short Sand Beach, and Miakani Beach. So our 3 locations for the BioBlitz this year. And we want you to go out and observe as much as you can, record as much as you can within that month-long period. We also are going to have a guided experience. So if you don't want to go out there by yourself and you think you might want a little bit more help, we have an event on July 16th that you can sign up for. In the same way that you signed up for tonight's event on our webpage, there will be an event with myself and a member from the Oregon Coast Aquarium, and we'll be walking up and down Miakani Beach, going into the tide pools and looking for organisms there and recording our findings. And again, that's on July 16th. So that was a very quick overview of the application, and this has been recorded, but I also want to just open it up. If you have any questions, I can answer them now. If not, feel free to either give me a ring or you can email me. My email and number are on the screen. If you want to ask questions, you can either unmute yourself or feel free to type it in the chat. Okay, so if there are no questions, that was a very quick overview of using the iNaturalist application. And don't forget to download the application and get out there during that month-long time of exploration. And I'm excited to see what you come up with. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we'll catch you later.